Welcome back to the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in South Trinidad and Tobago for this encounter between the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force and the combined campuses and colleges. At this stage of the game, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force 171 for the loss of 2 wickets after 54 overs. And of course, to remind you the news from the toss this morning, CCC won and decided to have a bowl first. So Trinidad and Tobago losing the opening pair of Cephas Cooper and Vikash Mohan. Cooper fell for 80, Mohan for 66, and now set to continue Akim Jordan with the ball in hand. And already peels off the outer edge of the bat of Jason Mohammed. Some excitement there for the CCC, as we note that there was a period in the game in which things were a bit quiet for them, and the introduction of Demel Evelyn came to good rewards. His first delivery getting that prize wicket of Cephas Cooper, and he was caught at second slip, and Vikash Mohan fell to Akim Jordan, also picking up a well-deserved wicket after a very economical and hard-fought spell of bowling. Vikash was flicking uppishly to the field at square leg and was caught. And nicely left alone from Jason Mohammed. So of course this game, a pink ball day-night affair. First time that the pink ball has been introduced in the Cricket West Indies Championship in the regional 4-day format. And of course an excellent initiative by Cricket West Indies in terms of getting players more accustomed and match ready. So if they are called up to that senior team for the international stage and required to play any of these matches in the future, they have some sort of preparedness. Nicely punched from Mohammed. Timing as always from Jason. And some good work in the field as well. Restrict the pair just to 2. But since he's come to the crease, Mohammed just faced 20 deliveries, but he's looked so set. His first delivery, in fact, was a lovely drive through the covers. Just got 2 runs for it, but the elegance and the composure shows you that he's a man in form. Of course, coming out of the North-South Classic in Trinidad and Tobago, where the team had a trial match of the pink ball nature. Jason Mohammed, in fact, scored a double century in that game, 224 for the South team, and led them to a very famous victory. As the North team dominated for some time, but all of that form would augur well for them going forward here. Again, just watching that delivery. Cautious in this restart. I think the mindset for both batsmen at this stage would be to just get their eyes in and play their natural game. Don't need to try and do anything extraordinary. Already have a very stable foundation and platform built. Solid in defense again. So you note that the Guyana Harpy Eagles, defending champions, they would have come up today against the Barbados Pride. And Barbados Pride finishing with a massive first innings total of 346. And then encounter Jamaica Scorpions 291 for 7 against Windward Islands Volcanoes. Leeward Islands Hurricanes 290 for 6 against the West Indies Academy. And last year in the 2024 format, as we see the end of the 52nd over, 55th over, that is, 173 for 2. I'd like to welcome back alongside me Visham Lalman in the commentary booth. Visham, your thoughts on that first couple of sessions of play?
Well, good night, Keshav. Well, different greeting now is good night. Good night to you. Good night to all our viewers. Yeah, I think the 2 sessions of play thus far. Session 1, though, dominated by Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. I think CCC pulling things back just a bit with those 2 wickets.
Yeah, definitely pulling him back into their favour at one point you wondered if the game was going to run away for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. It's a very lucrative opening stand from Mohan and Cephas Cooper.
Yeah, but looking at these two here in the middle for the Red Force team, it's not over yet. And it's not a job done yet by CCC. They are well and truly far away from getting the job done. Those 2 wickets, yes, it's vital, removing the 2 openers that was set. But there's still a job to do here and to continue to do. This one outside the off stump. And well left alone by Goolie. You don't want to be chasing those wide deliveries and losing your wicket. That's getting caught losing your wicket early. And you have a start. You don't want to be in a position in which, well, similar to the one in which Manas Labuschagne found himself in Gaul last night. Nicely bowled again. Bailey probably relishing the left-hander to bowl to, because of the fact that to the right-handers he was angling the ball into their pads. So now if he does that to the left-hander here, well, that same angle is going to be just outside the off-stump, Keshav.
Yeah, well, I think it's very smart batting from Goolie in terms of observing that ball and letting it go by, because it's those sort of tempting deliveries that you just want to have a plot at it.
It's short, but Goolie has to play a bit closer to him this time. But that's what you want to do. You want to make the batsman play. You want to bring that one slip fielder into play as well. There's a gully fielder. Backward point. A cover point. And there's a short cover. Mid off, mid on. Wide fine leg and mid wicket. Just a bit too wide to interest Goolie there again.
Goolie into his first class season. 13 matches he has played thus far.
What he has been able to do, Goolie, he has been able to stay in this Red Force setup. This Red Force team. He has the tendency to come good more often than not. And he has ability to play the big innings. At the moment, those deliveries outside the off stump a bit too wide for the batsman to really look to play at it. I don't think Bailey should be that wide of the off stump. And if he's having trouble bowling over the wicket, maybe he can try round the wicket. Cracked away by Goolie. That's going to be 4. That had 4 written all over it. Well, this time he latches onto a wide delivery. Too short. Too wide and slammed. Have a look at that. Bang. And way to the boundary for 4.
Lovely shot there from Jed Goolie. Just waited for the right opportunity and put away the bad delivery. Again, leaving alone those tempting deliveries previously in the over, and just took advantage of that loose delivery. So at the end of 56 overs, 177 for 2. And in terms of looking to this last session of play, Vishan, what do you think is a reasonable score for the Red Force to set their minds and their targets on?
I think just about 1 hour and 40 minutes to go. And, well, 24, that's 28 overs in the day again. Or 30 overs in the day, because we have lost 4 overs. So 30 overs to take us to 86 overs. Say with 30 overs remaining, just another 100 runs would do. I think they'd be happy with that, Keshav. But that's a long way away from now, though.
I think they just need to set small incremental targets. At this stage, get to 200, then to 250. Continue building in partnerships.
Ooh, that pass close to the off stump there. But if we ask Jason Mohammed whether he knew where his off stump is or not, he'd tell you he did.
What I like about that from Mohammed is that he was in fact keeping his eyes on the ball all the way until it passed his pads and went straight to the keeper, because it was very close indeed, but handled that very confidently.
Hakeem Jordan, of course, we know how much he can move the ball, especially into the right-handers. That one not getting up as Mohammed would have liked to really latch on to it as a cut shot, but still got some bat onto it. And you're speaking about that double century, Keshav, that Jason Mohammed would have scored in the North-South Classic. A mammoth knock. One really painted with a lot of amazing stroke play. Just showing that he still has so much more to offer.
Yeah, well, a player with all of his experience and that veteran nature. He has to impart that knowledge onto the younger players in the team. And you see him just ensuring that ball did not come close to his thumb, still limbering up after the last break. And that double century, of course, Jason Mohammed made 224 of 324 deliveries. And 26 fours and 3 sixes, a healthy strike rate as well of just around 70.
As he played, just coming onto the front foot and greeting Jordan with the full face of the bat. No pressure on the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force team. Of course, he made 224 in the North-South Classic. His highest first-class score is 220. Oh, coming right across the stump there and working this one down to fine leg. A very brave manner in which to play that delivery, Keshav.
Well, since the resumption of play is just a couple overs in, but you're already seeing the ball doing a bit more than it was previously. Whether it's the nighttime dew factor, extra heat from the lights as well. And we notice outside Vishamala it's very windy around the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. You know that the temperatures in Trinidad and Tobago in the night sometimes drop to around 24, 23 degrees.
Bat and pad close together. Stifled appeal. There goes Shakiri Paris. Collects the ball. 57 overs gone. And it's 179 for the loss of 2. Carrier still to come. Joshua James, Tion Webster, Carrie Pear, and wicketkeeper batsman Antonio Gomez. Brian Charles, the skipper, as well as Carrie Pear. I mentioned him before.
Well, based on those names in the Red Force lineup to come, and we know that several of those players can play dual roles, as in they can come in, take their time, bat, set themselves in an innings, or they can come out from ball one and play aggressively. Now, again, in this longer format of the game, batsmen are encouraged to spend time at the crease and not look to hit the ball aggressively from the first instance. But again, situational context. If you set a solid platform and you look to accelerate at the end, you have that option if you need, and you have the players to do it.
Yeah, certainly. They've stuck with Bailey here, Andre Bailey.
I think I would have liked to see Evelyn come back with a spell. It's just
Yeah.
something about his bowling and the way he approaches the crease. It seems casual in nature, but even apart from that, he troubled the batsman more than some of the other bowlers who have worked very hard, and they have been consistent, but still easily defended at the same time.
Yeah, don't mind seeing him again for another couple of overs. But I think, well, he's listed as a bowler on a round, I should say, on their team list. And I think if we ask skipper Jeremiah what was his decision, or what was his mode of thinking like behind that decision of bringing Evelyn in, I think he'd tell us, Keshav, that he was trying to buy a wicket.
Well, I mean, I think I would give Evelyn the benefit of the doubt. But you did see some discussion prior to that. Akim Jordan was walking to the umpire,
Yeah.
cap already in his hand, and then Jeremiah at the last minute, I think, decided to just give Evelyn a chance, and it worked out in their favour. And Kian Utley around the setups and coming to show some support.
Riyad Emrit is there as well. Goolie looks solid. Umpire side, Bassarat is having a word with Bailey, and Mohammed doing some gardening.
Again with that watchful eye.
There's so much time left in the game. You know, these two can afford to not rush things. There's no need to be in a rush. Just bat balls and continue to bat, and bat for long periods. I think that is something we don't see too often in the Caribbean, Keshav, or often enough. Batting for long periods of time, occupying the crease. This one is pulled away ferociously for 4.
But almost deja vu of the previous over, in which Goolie was just leaving alone those deliveries away from his body, and the moment that Bailey decided to just go into his pads, of course not as quick as the other bowlers, and allowing Goolie to just stand on that one. A tall guy is Jed Goolie, didn't even have to move much, just swivel and get the bat face down, roll the wrist, and executed lovely to the boundary for 4. 183 for 2 after 58. And Jordan is going to continue from this end, but you just wonder, Visham, whether I think they should look to also try the leg spinner.
Yeah,
Vijay
Vijay
Mansingh.
Mansingh, yeah.
Just because of the fact that I know there's a left-hander, Goolie at the crease, and Jason Mohammed a right-hander. Both of them also good players of spin. But I think when he bowled earlier today, he did get some purchase off of the surface. It wasn't anything majorly significant, but given
Yeah.
the fact that we haven't seen any other turn from the off-spinner or any variations off of the pitch so far, I think, you know, that extra element with this night factor and the dew can also just trouble the batsman a bit.
Flicked away down to mid-on. Yeah, and, we saw those two, those two last overs from Bailey. In both overs, he finished the over with a boundary. And Ruskin and I were speaking about that. That can always dent your confidence as a bowler. And it just, of the pressure that you build up in the first 5 deliveries, Keshav, is now released when you are struck for a boundary in your final delivery.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, both of his previous overs were the same manner. 5 dot deliveries and then a boundary. And Goolie just seemed to have waited for it.
Jordan around the wicket now. Oh, this one just jumping. Surprising Goolie. Where did that came from?
And again, where is that fielder close in, just around the bat? So you have seen some variable bonks, and look at that extra bonks from this occasion from Jordan. And sometimes we have seen the ball just get less bonks and dip on its way to the keeper. But again, those subtle variations, I think, just having one of those fielders close in under the bat would put that extra pressure, because you can't defend as easily. You have to ensure the ball goes to the ground.
Most certainly. Oh, that one coming back in with the angle. He seems to know where his off stump is and looks very confident in his ability. And that's what you want to see as well. You don't want to go out there and you allow a bowling team to get on top of you, or you don't want to allow a bowling team to get the better of you because they pick up 2 quick wickets and you had a good start. You don't want to throw away that foundation. You want to go out there with that confidence and show them that you are here and here to stay for a long period.
And into his body this time, but the extra pace of Jordan. So you see the difference. Previously in that over from Bailey, different angle, of course, coming over the wicket and Jordan going around the wicket, but anything into his body that Bailey was delivering, Goolie was able to just swivel and pull with quite some ease. With Jordan and that extra pace and bounce, he's much more mindful. So again, I think you just need to put someone close in. I know I'm praying for it ever since. We saw it in 1 or 2 overs, I think, when Mahabir Singh had the ball in hand and Goolie just came to the crease. But I just think it's an extra element they can add here to CCC.
Ooh, that one carrying through nicely to the Mario Richards. Took that one in his mid-rib area. Yeah, just rehearsing it. And I know you said you'd like to see Abhijay Mansingh as well come back into the attack. That'll be very interesting.
The irony is now with this extra due factor for the leg spinner, it would be more difficult for him to get a clean grip on the ball. So I was talking about that earlier period, I'd have liked to see him get a second spell there. Of course, no harm in still coming back, and you see some extra movement away after that ball, and Jordan himself is impressed. Hands on his hip with a wry smile, and just indicates a fast bowler's delight when he sees something that he can look to improve on as an asset to his utility. 184 for 2 after 59.
Yeah, and looks as though the rain has stayed away, Keshav, for I think we'll be in for a good hour and 26 minutes of play again. Of course, the umpires would have indicated to us that if the allotted 86 overs has not been completed by 9 p.m., there would be an extension of half an hour's play to get the overs in. But we have lost 4 overs, hence I say 86 overs, and tomorrow's play would be starting half an hour early, just to account for those 4 overs that have been lost.
And the support echoing around from the CCC. Just trying to build back that momentum.
Oh, very close to that outside edge. A bit too close to cut though. Jason Mohammed, just maybe a lapse in concentration.
And you see very minimal movement of the feet. It's a quick shuffle across, but not close enough to that delivery to get any bat on it.
definitely a lapse in concentration, the way in which he is getting himself ready now for this delivery. This time he gets behind it nicely. And, all of these guys, Jason, Mohammed, and Goolie, well, who are there out there at the moment, they would have played at the Barnla Cricket Academy for quite a lot. And they would know these surfaces, they would know how to react to certain surfaces here prepared at the Barnla Cricket Academy. So, much like Cephas Cooper and Vikash Mohan showed as well.
Not getting the full timing on it, but Bailey has been very much on target into his 13th over. Just 33 runs conceded. It's under 3 runs and over. I'm sure he'd want to get something in that wicket column. Due reward for his hard work. He's been very consistent. It's still not just troubling the batsman.
Driving nicely, but good work there at backward point. No chance for a single.
It's a good effort there at point as well. OJ Shields diving away the big fast bowler, and you see even the fielder from the slip cording running to greet him.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good, showing the good support.
I also like the energy from the CCC team since they have come out after the break.
I myself like your energy when you came out from the break, Keshav. I'm sure you enjoyed the meal that was prepared, the dinner.
And of course, always grateful for the refreshments that are provided.
Yeah, certainly.
Of course, health is wealth, as you would know.
Yeah, definitely.
Your intense exercise and diet regime.
Solid. Like the fact that the Mario Richards is getting in behind his team here, the wicketkeeper. Very vocal.
But that's what you need always from your wicketkeeper. And that simple aspect of just keep on chirping right behind the batsman sometimes can affect their concentration as they try to zone in. While they're zoning into the delivery that's coming, they have to zone out those extra sounds.
Nicely worked away. Has protection there for a square leg. Looking for 2. It's not on though. Just maybe calling for it a bit too early as the over comes to an end. 60 overs bowled. 185 for 2.
And as we mentioned, external noise, and we can hear just around the Brian Lara Cricket Academy some music from those loudspeakers. We know that this venue, now that we are in the carnival season in Trinidad and Tobago, of course, one of our most prestigious times as a country where we invite visitors from all over the world to come and partake in our culture. Lots of color, music, celebrations, joyous festivities underway. And at the same time, we have this really enjoyable Cricket West Indies Championship. So it's just an excellent period here right now. Enjoyment on and off the field.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're getting ready for a carnival fete that's coming up on Friday.
I heard you got your tickets already.
Well, I would be here. I think I've got my tickets for this match. Not for the fete, Keshav.
Of course, but I know that the event is scheduled to start after the duties, so I think, I know you've been rumored to hold double shifts at times.
But
what happens? That extra work.
What would happen if we have play on Saturday? So
by all means, I think
I need to be here.
Well, of course, you will be here and you can also remain here after the event. In fact, just now, based on your exploits, I might look to name a piece of the furniture after you. You never know.
Well, you just never know.
Fended away nicely. And one thing about Mohammed is that he's always very nimble on the crease. If you see a short guy, so those rising deliveries one would expect should give him a challenge, but instead plays it comfortably, just leaps off the ground and makes it look ever so simple. But no easy task is that.
Yeah, definitely. He tends to use the crease quite a lot, Jason Mohammed. And he has a lot to do before he really settles himself to play a delivery. All of that, some persons, like Steve Smith, for example, if we look at Jason Mohammed, the way in which he sets up to, before he, look at the amount of things he has to do. He has to fiddle with the pads, wipe the eyes again, ensure the gloves are good.
In fairness to him, I think that's every cricketer.
Yeah.
And in fact, each cricketer has their own unique traits and characteristics and little things that they need to do to get themselves ready for each delivery. And as you said, Steve Smith, both he and Manas Labuschagne, infamously known for that. But what about our very own Shivnarine Chandapal?
Yes.
And sometimes, it might seem odd to us viewing from the outside, because you're wondering why do they need to do this every single delivery. But again, it's just one of those things to just build that energy, build that momentum to get you ready. Even bowlers, sometimes at the top of their crease, you see different unique traits before they go into their stride.
Chance for a run out here. And home safely. Good quick single in the end, though. Had he gotten a direct hit there, that could have been out. Let's look at it again.
Very close indeed. He called for the single right away, did Mohammed. Nice pick up from Shields. Oh, and he would have been safely home.
He would have been home.
He's very quick between the wickets. There's Mohammed. Let's get along the ground quite nicely. And Goolie, of course, that towering figure of his. Just a couple of strides and he's home safe.
Yeah, certainly, but good to see that. What's really commendable to see, though, Keshav, is that yet another 4-day championship has started, and a lot of persons now have the opportunity to vie for selection and use their talents wisely.
And as you say that the Premier 1 season is approaching in Trinidad and Tobago as well, as 61 overs completed, 186 for 2. And we know that during the Premier 1 season in Trinidad and Tobago, we do see players from the other islands as well feature for some of the clubs here. And many of them use that as an opportunity to just remind the selectors of their respective teams that they are making runs, they are taking wickets and just knocking on the door. Always want to make sure that you are around and that your name will be in the minds of those persons as you look to get more opportunities. And as we speak about a memorable name, of course, Brian Charles Lara, this wonderful facility named after the left-handed legend.
Well, everything in terms of name takes steps, Keshav. Surprisingly, that image was shown with the BC Lara on the seats, and you're speaking about getting your names into the selectors' books, but that's the first part of it, and hopefully one day after you get your name into the selectors' books, you can have something similar. Your name could be on a stand, maybe, who knows.
Yeah, so that's definitely later down the road. And I think the main goal of the players are not to reach to that point, but essentially to get selected, perform well, and do the best.
Yeah,
Umpire Kashif Sandy, then umpire just ensuring that everything is okay on the field of play.
Yeah, Damel Evelyn was off the field. Romario Graves came onto the field. Flicked down to fine leg and easily cleaned up. Chance for a run out and home safely again, as you said. Quick between the wickets, Jason Mohammed.
But I like that intensity because, in honesty, they could have stayed for one if they chose to, and to just be casual and safe at the same time. However, from the moment Mohammed took off, he seemed intent to turn and come back for the second. The ball was very straightish in terms of the fielder from fine leg, didn't have to come around too much, and it was in his natural angle and throwing stride. So good running there from Mohammed to just put pressure on the fielders and remind them.
Looking to try, but just pushing it out to Graves, substitute fielder.
When you look at the bowlers used for the CCC thus far, seems to be the main 5 bowlers. Evelyn used as the 6th. And again, that delivery nipping back in and just staying extra bit low.
Playing right around his front part as well, Jason Mohammed.
Well, again, he waits for the delivery to come into his space, which is something that many cricketers, it's a simple yet difficult thing to maintain in terms of that patience and playing the ball just within your own arc, and rather than reaching for it or stretching outside of that area where you are your strongest.
Or as they would say, under your eye line.
Yep, head over the ball. Of course, not the easiest thing to do. As you said, practice makes perfect. These players spend a lot of time in the indoor nets with the bowling machines, as well as working on specific shots, in addition to their usual training outdoors on the field of play. And of course, no practice is better than match practice itself.
Nicely behind that one. A lot of milestones coming up as well. A lot of milestones being achieved. And Jason Mohammed on 13 first class hundreds. One more 100 to him, and he will be the cricketer for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force with the most first class hundreds. He'll go past Darren Ganga if he does get it.
Remarkable feat indeed.
Looking for 2. Immediate call was for 2. And we couldn't get that in the end to finish 62. And the end of it, 189 for the loss of 2. I think it's a rebuilding partnership, Keshav. Yes, we say rebuilding because of the fact that the 2 wickets were lost in quick succession.
Well, the opening partnership of 131 just goes to show you that excellent stand initially from Vikash Mohan and Cephas Cooper. 139 in fact it was, and the first wicket fell at that stage, the second wicket at 159, so just 20 runs in between losing your 2 opening set batsmen.
Yeah.
And again, with 2 new batsmen coming to the crease at that time, I must say neither Mohammed nor Goolie looked to seem as if they were uneasy. They came to the crease with quite some composure and some confidence, and it was certainly something positive to take in stride, as they have grown in their innings already, with batsmen getting up to that 20 run mark on or wrong. Mr. Mohammed just a couple runs shy, but facing good amount of deliveries in terms of getting a feel of the surface. OJ Shields replacing Hakeem Jordan. Shields with the most pace out of all of these fast bowlers.
Something doesn't seem right there as he approached the crease. So he halts his run up. He's gonna just get a feel back of that run up. Retake the run up maybe.
I know earlier umpire Christopher Taylor was just using his boot to just get some of the extra dust off of the surface.
Yeah.
It was a bit skiddy for some of the fast bowlers. And you see the footmarks as well.
I think Carripe and Brian Charles would be licking their lips seeing those footmarks developing. Flick nicely. That could be forward, Will. And races away quickly to the boundary. Too full, too straight, and punished.
Well, that's easy coming for Jason Mohammed. Into his pads away from his wicket. No real chance of any dismissal, so just able to flick his wrist. Ball sped along the carpet here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Another 4 added to the total.
With a pace of Shields as well. And he bat onto that just like Mohammed did.
He didn't really have to do much, did he?
Yeah.
He just had to get bat on ball, essentially.
How would Shields respond now? I want to correct that. Quick single. Good running. And sometimes as a bowler, Keshav, when you're trying to correct what you did wrong, you tend to overcompensate at times. And that can cause you real trouble. Now, speaking about milestones, I was reading this morning, Keshav, that Steve Smith, of course, he would have completed 10,000 test runs when he scored his first run last night against Sri Lanka. And he went to 100, and that 100 took him to 35 test hundreds. And guess what? He surpassed some names where you would have sat close by to. Yunus Khan, Brian Lara, Sunil Gavaskar, and Mahela Jayawardena. I can't understand why they didn't put Keshav Bahadur Singh there.
Well, of course, in another lifetime, maybe. It would have been nice to be in such esteemed company, especially with all of the cricketing accolades that those players mentioned have attained during their career. And of course, still giving back to the game after.
I'm sure it's such a wonderful feeling, though, for Steve Smith to now go past these legends.
Well, Steve Smith really had an interesting career, didn't he?
Yeah.
Of course, started off as a leg spinner, batting lower down the order, around that 8-9 position, and decided to take batting with more importance. And look at him now, one of the leading batsmen in the world. 35 centuries at the test level.
Not one of the most proper batsmen in the world, but what he does works for him.
Well, I think he's a testament to modern day cricket in the sense that we all know traditionally you want to see that nice shape, technique. And that's a lovely shot there from Jed Goolie, straight down the ground. And speaking of technique, there's an example for you if there ever was one. A wonderful shot there from the elegant and stylish left-hander. And there's no safer place to hit the ball than straight behind the bowler. And so said, so done. Beautiful there from Goolie.
Well, as a coach, you'd tell your youngsters, try to play the ball in the V. And that is exactly what Goolie did there. Straight back past the bowler. All elegance from the left-hander. This time he's just guiding that one out to the fielder. Overdone. Umpire T, Christopher Taylor, says so. It's 198 for 2 after 63.
And as you spoke about Stephen Smith, leg spinner turned to one of the most prolific batsmen. I'm not sure how many of our viewers might know that Vikash Mohan, the opening batsman with Trinidad and Tobago, was in fact a very competent leg spinner. In fact, had the privilege of playing youth cricket in the same age group as him growing up. And Vikash, in fact, was used more as a bowler sometimes, always capable with bat in hand, but he was definitely prolific with that leg spin, and now he bowls some right arm off spin, contributes with the ball in hand, does get some key wickets when needed, but it just goes to show you as a cricketer, and no matter what your initial designation might be, as in persons might ascribe you to be a bowler, a batsman, a keeper, I think one main positive we have learned from the modern format of the game and the developments is that you have to learn to do everything, because you have to make yourself marketable to the sense that you have your specialties, yes, but you have to be competent across the board.
Loud appeal for leg before. A convincing one at that. And not out, says the umpire. Heard two sounds there though, Keshav.
And umpire Basarath unmoved, unfazed, and so was the batsman, Mohammed. It's a very good delivery from Bailey. And again, you see something that we didn't notice before. Movement off the seam, off the pitch. Previously, most of those deliveries would have just held its line and continued to go exactly where Mohammed had his bat angled. And that bit of inward movement off of the pitch, it just makes it an extra interesting here for the batter to face.
And that's a live grass working for the bowler. This time, nicely behind it. And speaking about persons who have started their career as batsmen, bowlers, and have took a different path now. Adian Racha, who is in the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force team, surprisingly, he would have started his career as a batsman in St. Stephen's College at Form 1. And now he has certainly proved himself as a bowler. Still known for his batting prowess though, Adian Racha. Had a century last year for Presentation College in the Secondary Schools Cricket League.
I think that's just a reminder of how young he is and how,
certainly,
how blessed his career has been to feature in the squad. Vikash Mohan, just mentioned, very good opening innings at the crease, and was disappointed when he was dismissed. Very soft manner.
Look at that. Look at how close the bat and pad is together there, Keshav.
But he just plays with so much of confidence, Jason Mohammed. But not only that, such calm. He just makes it look so easy sometimes, the bat pad close together as you see. But again, not much movements before with his back lift and so on. He hangs his bat just around waist height, and right when the bowler approaches to the crease, then he elevates it a bit. So he's ready to play the shot as soon as the ball is released.
This one flicked away uppishly. And a couple bounces to the fielder, Greaves, at wide fine leg. And just a single.
Yeah, well, there were shouts of catch it, but nobody around. Fielder was quite back on the boundary, so ball did bounce a few times before reaching him, but again, you just see those subtle differences.
199 for 2, just one run away from a 200.
That's the first target that we set when it came out after the break, and looking set to achieve that. One run shy.
It's approaching the drinks break. It's about 5 to 10 minutes time. Goolie doesn't seem troubled at the moment, as 64 overs have come to an end. 1 wicket apiece for Jordan and Evelyn. 199 for 2.
You see the wicketkeeper has the helmet in hand, so probably just keeping it close by for the possible introduction of spin over the next few overs. But it does seem as if OJ Shields is set to continue, just walking to the top of his mark from the boundary. And he's put in a intense shift, has Shields.
Well, if we do get to, well, we need to get to 80 overs, Keshav. If we do get to that, and there's still a chance of the 6 overs to 86. So that 6 overs of with a new ball could be a very interesting little boost later tonight.
Well, that's the thing. I thought they would have brought on a couple of their spinners just to get through some of these overs in this middle period as well. Of course, due to the different stoppages in players, this is nicely timed from Mohammed. I don't think he'll get all the way to the boundary. Long strides of Jordan just escorting the ball. And they get 3 easily. But in terms of that game plan, Visham, we know that each time there was a stoppage in play and they came back out, they started with their 2 premier bowlers. Either Jordan and Shields together, or one of the 2 alongside either Bailey or Evelyn when he was given his opportunity. And since we've seen Mahabir Singh get a couple of overs, I think just before he was taken off the attack, he was actually now getting into his rhythm.
Yeah.
So I think, granted, the pitch does not offer much turn, as we mentioned, for the spinners on this first day from what we've seen. But I think no harm in just trying a different option. Use your difference in flight.
Oh my, what was that?
I think that was a bit too much flight from OJ Shields. And that almost head height. And Goolie having to take evasive action. Yes, and the keeper, in fact, I think took it on the full, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did actually take it on the full. That one maybe just slipping out there, Keshav.
Well, the umpire just going to check with the square leg, see if the ball requires a change. Probably Shields indicating that the seam or the grip might be not in its ideal state.
Jordan having a word with Jason Mohammed.
Socks, please, socks, please. Yes, sir.
It's going to be interesting whether or not they change the ball here now as a result of the constant dampening of it throughout the day.
Well, the one thing we are seeing is that a rag is being brought on, so I think they'll have to suffice it in drying up the hands. And she's just apologizing to Goolie.
Well,
Both having a chuckle.
looks as though they are going to change the ball. Umpire Cash to the umpire Cash. If Sandy's out there with the bag of balls, very important equipment.
I'm sure I know you wish that that role is something you would have been an expert at. Were you given the chance?
Never me, Keshav, never me. Speak for yourself.
So, batsmen are just having a look at the ball from the umpire, because I think from what they have indicated, this is a very new ball. Jason Mohammed and Jed Goolie just inquiring. They want to know if it's reached the 80 over mark yet.
Yeah, ball looks pretty new, as Jason Mohammed would have suggested, but yeah, you just have to.
And I must say, it's great to see that bit of comical interaction,
Yeah.
albeit very serious points being raised. But, both batsmen just taking it in stride. Of course, facing a new ball at any stage is difficult, but even now, when you least expect it, he just had to face a almost life-threatening beamer, the Jet Goolie, from the previous ball, and then now, Jason Mohammed doesn't seem to be too pleased, and honestly, I can't disagree with him because it's only in the 65th over, and they're going to use this new ball, given the fact that the other one,
Well, they'll have to make use of it as it comes.
well, again, you see immediate change in the field. Extra field in the slip cordon, and fielder catching at short cover.
Short down the leg side. And there is protection. The fine leg fielder Arthur comes around.
I don't think that's where Shields would want to be pitching this new cherry. Need to let the ball work. See what you can get from it. As you have that shine, you have this lovely night canopy at the BLCA. And of course, just see whether you can get some movement off the seam or off the pitch.
Yeah, I think he would want to get the ball up, see what it offers. And it's a newer ball, so you would expect it to give you something. You just needs to do what's right. Ooh, there you go.
That's what we're looking for.
Just need to get it a bit closer now.
Keeper Demario Richards taking that almost in front of first slip.
And Jason Mohammed shaking his head.
Immediately. From the moment the umpire came with the ball, even before he reached to Jason Mohammed and Jen Goolie to show them, you could already see that he was displeased.
Question was, are they taking the second new ball so early? Oh, nicely bowled. Right up there.
Question answered. I think the reality is, if that's the decision at this point in the game, he just has to go along with it.
Yeah.
But again, a man of his experience and mental strength, he's not going to let that affect him too much. In fact, he might relish this opportunity with the ball coming more sweetly off the bat.
Just need to be a bit more cautious now. Down the leg side, Shields isn't making good use of it just yet.
No, the thing is, Bailey has been bowling an extended spell on the opposite end. The Shields has just come to replace Akeem Jordan, who is taking a rest. So if you have this new chair in your hand, who do you go to for the next over? Do you give Bailey again to continue? Do you try Evelyn? We know the spinners are definitely not going to get the ball in hand right now.
I think I'd give my most senior bowler in Akeem Jordan. This one crashed away for 4. How about that to greet the new ball?
Well, that's what I said. Jason Mohammed, as someone of his talent and ability, he's not going to let that faze him. And in fact, he knows that the newer the ball is also the quicker that it runs along the outfield. And rightfully so. Short, wide, and cut away for a nice-looking boundary. 208 for 2 after 65. Mohammed goes up to 31 now. Goolie on 26. And both batsmen continuing to build this partnership.
Some 21 overs remaining in the day's play, Keshav. Given the fact that we're going to 86 overs. And we have just about 50 minutes remaining in the day's play.
And there we see some lengthy conversation at the bowler's end. I'm sure in relation to exactly what we were just mentioning. Who are they going to with this ball? Do they continue with Bailey? Akeem Jordan just came off from the other end. So ideally, yes, I agree with you. You'd want to go to your strike bowler, but he's now been taken off for a bit of a breather.
Yeah, understood.
So it's an interesting situation to see who they would use. I must say, based on what I saw Evelyn do previously, he's not the quickest, but he did get that ball to just nip around a bit. Don't mind seeing him try a couple of deliveries. That ball just moving in or away from the batsman, but I think it's going to be Bailey to continue.
Having initiated the change in the ball, the CCC just maybe caught off guard a bit by taking Jordan off and then in the other over having to get the ball changed. But had it been a different case, I think they would have liked to have Jordan utilizing that new ball.
Yeah, I think it even caught them by surprise.
Yeah.
Because essentially she just wanted a replacement ball, not expecting the new cherry that would have been given.
Bailey, yeah.
Bailey, as we said, has been consistent in his line and length, but has just given away that boundary scoring opportunity ever so often. But the main thing for me is that he has not really threatened the batsman. Even though he has been consistent and bowled a nice line and length, it seems to be easy for the batsman to leave alone anything outside and take advantage of anything inside.
This one is short and wide and absolutely met with disdain. Have a look at that go across the boundary. Goolie with yet another boundary in this innings. Short and wide and punished again.
Well, just on cue, as I was speaking about taking advantage of deliveries outside. And that was short, wide, and put away quite competently from Jid Goolie, bringing up the 50 partnership for the pair. 53 in 102 deliveries. Mohammed on 31, Goolie on 30. Both batsmen scoring at on or around a strike rate of 50 within that region and going along nicely.
Yeah, and that's the problem with Andre Bailey. There's always that odd delivery that he serves up. The boundary ball, Kishav.
Well, literally, we just spoke about it and it happened
Yeah.
instantaneously.
The Kishav Bahadur Singh's curse, not the commentator's curse.
I dare not say it's a curse. In fact, just a bit of anticipation, given what we have observed previously.
Yeah, but the boundary ball, yes, has been served up. That's one thing. But the batsman has been able to put them away. Ooh, this time he's flashing at one there, Goolie.
Well, that's the area he needs to bowl. He needs to get up into that area, encouraging the batsman to come and drive and play those expansive shots and let the ball do its work. Just moving away from Goolie past that outside edge, but he's either been at a good length into the body or he's been either too wide outside the off stump. So if he can just find that middle ground,
Yeah.
push the ball a bit fuller, encourage him to play.
Oh, short, pulled away. And that for more. Goolie on the charge.
Well, again, it's as if he's listening to us and he's delivering those balls right on the spot where we are speaking of, because Goolie, again, we saw the delivery from before into that area, beating him outside of the off stump, and then you go back into his pads where he has shown that he is strong. He has shown that anything just short of a length, he's going to just swivel and pull, and pulls really well indeed. Gets another boundary in this over, and just like that, releases any sort of pressure that would have come up. Again, Bailey, as we mentioned, with that new ball, and not at his peak in terms of he has been bowling a long spell, so it's only natural that he would be just a bit tired in terms of his longevity. Not really troubling the batsman much, and Goolie just flicks away nicely for a single at the end of that over. 66 gone, 217 for 2, and the players are going to have some drinks out there to rehydrate, and we'll take a short break in the commentary booth and rejoin you soon. Welcome back here to the Brown Cricket Academy for this final session of play. This encounter between the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force and the combined campuses and colleges. Trinidad and Tobago 217 for 2 after the drinks break at 66 overs. Of course, this match affected by the rain at some point, so reduced amount of overs in this first innings and going up to 86 overs, I believe it is, as I welcome back alongside me Visham Lalman in the commentary booth. Visham, the Red Force looks set here to go on to that 250 target minimum that we were speaking of on this first day of play.
Yeah, certainly looks.
And it's a no ball signaled by umpire Taylor. So not the start that Jordan would have wanted, but you get your wish, Visham, in terms of Jordan coming back into the attack right away.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he goes here now, but starting with a no ball, he looks a bit disappointed, and disappointed in himself at least, because of the fact that just overstepped. And he's going to come over the wicket to Jason Mohammed, and he gets that ball to move sharply into the right-handers, Hakeem Jordan. I think it's a good move by skipper Joan Jeremiah.
And you already see that extra bounce from Jordan coming a factor of note. Mohammed just having to defend that one into the leg side. But again, new ball comes out and there's no fielders close in to the bat.
I really like the camaraderie out there as well between both teams. See Goolie and Jordan having a go at it. All good fun. It's good to see that. Cricket played in good spirits. Oh, a chance for a leg before here. A loud appeal. Almost begging the umpire, so to speak. And not out, says umpire T.
But the umpire was unmoved despite the intense appeal from Hakeem Jordan as well as the players around. And it looks to be a very good shout indeed. Umpire, of course, best suited to make that decision. And the wicketkeeper still on his knees. Can't believe it there, Demario Richards, but they do have to carry on. Umpire judging that one to have just either been too high or possibly going down the leg side. But at the end of the day, given not out and Jordan has to continue working here, I think he obviously would be disappointed with not getting the decision in his favour. However, needs to use that to fuel him for the rest of deliveries. The fact that he is able in just a couple of deliveries to get some more purchase from the surface with that new ball has to go forward.
Yeah, I thought that looked a good shout, yes, but you can understand why the umpire may have said not out. Because of that movement that Jordan is getting, and if we look at the way it impacted Jason Mohammed on the part around that middle and leg area, and you know, it could be tailing down the leg side as well. Let's have a look at it again. Could very well be going down the leg side.
The ball did move quite some way after it pitched. That was very wide outside the off stump. Almost close to the edge of the pitch, but a judge safely in the lines by umpire Taylor. It seems that the weather has settled for the day, Visham, in terms of not seeing any cloud cover around.
Yeah, I think it has, and that's good. That's really good signs for the next hour of play. All down the leg side, and Jordan's last two deliveries, one wide outside the off stump, one down the leg side. Just want to be a bit more controlled here, Jordan. He sees what the ball is doing for him, I'm not sure it's doing anything like that for any of the bowlers but him. And he'd want to use that to his advantage.
Solid defense as you would ever see. Bat next to the pad, full face. Ball neatly into the ground. 67 completed, 219 for 2.
Well, with 19 overs to go in the day, and with the umpires saying that we would be cutting off at 9 p.m. Keshav, just about 33 minutes away, I think that we may be well extending to the 9:30.
Very possible. But you see the umpires also indicating to fielders that they just need to get a move on. And contrary to what we assumed with that new ball, where we thought would have been pace on for the majority of the first few overs, Avinash Mahabir Singh is going to come back into the attack. Just 4 or 5 overs into that new ball. But again, he can add a new interesting twist here.
Well, he has the ability to bowl with the newer ball as well, Avinash Mahabir Singh. This is what I like about him. He has the ability to bowl with the new ball and the older ball. That's what he offers to you as an option. I'd like to see how he goes with this new cherry.
Keep working, boy. Keep working, boy.
One slip in position.
Oh my goodness.
And ready from ball 1. I think that's the most turn that we have seen from Mahabir Singh for the entirety of the day.
Well, from any of the spinners, actually. Mansingh didn't get it to turn that much as well, being a leg spinner.
Indeed, and you see, he wasn't afraid to flight it as well.
Keep going, Rashid. Keep going, Rashid. Bowling, Rashid. Bowling, Rashid.
And here, keeper Richards, with an affectionate nickname for Mahabir Singh, Rashid. Of course, different style of bowling to Rashid Khan, but possibly indicating that he bears a resemblance to him.
Very interesting. And it's good to see Mahabir Singh getting an opportunity yet again with the CCC, having had a good finish to the first class season last year with the said team, getting 7 wickets in an innings against Guyana Happy Eagles.
Smart from Mohammed and Goolie to just keep rotating the strike. Get the singles, of course. When Mahabir Singh was first introduced into the attack, you know that Sifas Cooper and Vikash Mohan decided to take the bat to him in terms of they didn't allow him to settle from the second delivery. Ball struck behind him for 4 and they continued in that manner. Pulled down and pulled away, cut away on the offside from Jed Goolie. And a wonderful stroke through that vacant position. There are 2 fielders close in that short cover catching. And he got it very neatly through the gap for 4.
Yeah, way too short. Way too short there for Mahabir Singh. And he would tell you that the ball must have either stuck in his hand or slipped out because of the dew factor. And you can see skipper Jeremiah getting that towel out and ensuring that the ball is good for his bowler. It's in a condition in which he can work with.
And that's better. That's the area he needs to come into. If the batsman wants to come down the pitch, let them take the chance. They just have to slow it up a bit. I think when he's been quicker and flatter, it's been much easier for the batsman to play.
Too short.
But he's going to get a wicket here. as that ball is carried in here and it's dropped. The wicket keeper, Demario Richards. My word, everyone just stood in silence as it was short. Immediately we were looking for the ball to the boundary, but in fact a top edge skied into the air and keeper Richards getting to the ball and not taking the catch cleanly. You just wonder whether the CCC are going to rue that missed opportunity, and Jet Goolie is going to look to take advantage. Look at that, he didn't even know where the ball went. He just stood and he watched everyone. And Mahabir Singh rightfully disappointed. That was the wicket he needed. Just a bit of luck to get that breakthrough. Of course, not the best delivery, but still producing the desired result apart from the wicket. 68 completed, 227 for 2.
Yeah, I think, yes, you would say that's the keeper's catch with him with the gloves on. And yes, he spilled it, yes. But do you think that was Mahabir Singh's catch, Keshav?
I would still think it's the keeper's catch.
Yeah,
yes, it did come close to Mahabir Singh, but the keeper, from the moment the ball went in the air, he was the first one who in fact called for it.
Yes.
So even apart from him being the one with the gloves and close in, he signaled his intent.
And Mahabir Singh left it for him in
Correct.
the end because the keeper would have called. And you would think that he would be the safest. He would have the safest pair of hands with the gloves on.
Well, I think that's one of the basic rules of cricket that you learn from a youngster growing up in the outfield. If the ball is within the keeper's reach and he has a chance to take the catch,
Exactly.
he ought to be the best one to do it. Of course, unfortunate there, Demario Richards. It has been a long day behind the stumps. He has done some good work as well.
You have to feel for Avinash Mahabir Singh as well. Having gone through so much in your 10.5 overs leading up to that ball and getting a chance for a wicket now, you have to feel for him. I'm not sure what's going through his mind at the moment.
Well, in honesty, you can just see the body language of all of the players. Hands on their heads, some of them hands on their hips. Seems to have a impact on them for sure.
That could, yeah, it could be costly as well, Keshav. You know, when you're in this situation and you're a bowling team and you have a batting team 227 for 2, after getting an opening stand of 139, you want to take your chances. You can't afford to let a batsman who is set on 43. You can't afford to let him push on, having gotten a chance.
And especially a batsman of the nature of Jet Goolie, we all know what he can do when he switches into that another gear. And I dare say if he gets the 50 after that opportunity, you might see some more advancing strokes from the stylish left-hander. Beautiful shot there from Jason Mohammed to the rousing applause of the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force dugout. Too full from Jordan and just stepped into it. Full free flow off the bat. Majestic drive through the covers for 4.
Yeah, elegance from Jason Mohammed. That's what we have come to have known about him. So elegant. The manner in which he drives the ball, pulls the ball, and just bats in general, Keshav. And his wealth of experience is showing.
Yeah, so there's composure, always something to take a note of. That extra pace from Jordan, but half body length. Didn't really have to do too much. That's the better line and length. Let's keep it on or around that off stump area. Not too full, not too short. Force him to play.
And you can see just trying to alter the line and the length there, Jordan, in that last delivery after being driven for 4. And obviously he would have looked to pull back the length, and that he did. And how good is this for Goolie as well, batting with someone like Jason Mohammed.
Neatly timed in the leg side, and this one will also run away for 4. From the moment it left the bat, we thought initially that it might have just been a single, but look at it. How that ball just raced away.
Yeah, that was all timing from Jason Mohammed, and that's what would have helped him to get himself another boundary. And that completes 69 overs, 235 for 2 now.
And I think both Mohammed and Goolie playing in a very similar manner in terms of they're both getting closer to each other's target. Goolie 43 from 73, Mohammed 40 from 72, and both batters in the previous overs scoring 2 boundaries each.
Yeah, definitely. And we just saw Adian Racha ran out there with a pair of gloves, one for Jid Goolie.
Hometown hero from your area, Racha.
From the southeast zone, I'm sure everyone, despite him not playing, just getting picked on the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force team, I'm sure everyone in the southeast zone are behind him, and yeah, just supporting him and happy for him. So, as well as Andrew Rambaran from the east, very proud of him as well.
And also Antonio Gomez, the wicketkeeper batsman, making his debut. All of these youngsters getting their opportunity into this Red Force squad this season. 3 players making their way into that squad for the first time.
Thank you.
Mahabir Singh being given another opportunity to try and get the better of Goolie.
Some grip and turn there from Mahabir Singh. Yeah, why not give him another opportunity? He had a wicket-taking chance in the last over.
Solid again from Goolie. Misses out on that one. Just try to paddle it behind.
Seem to have tried a quicker delivery there, Mahabir Singh. He has a very good arm ball, Avinash Mahabir Singh. Ooh. No turn this time around, just going on with the arm.
And those subtle variations and differences are what can get you the wickets.
Yeah.
And turn on this time. So you see, a couple times when he's pitched that ball around the off stump, he's getting it to grip and turn away. When he's pitched it outside of the off stump, it just seems to keep straight on. See some of those footmarks there in front of Goolie as well.
It's been a much better over what we've seen from Mahabir Singh in the past couple of overs that he would have bowled at the end of 70. It's 235 for 2.
Jordan's going to continue again from the media center end. Really has been an extended spell from him today.
It looks as though he may just continue for one more over.
But they did bring back OJ Shields for 1 over when that new ball came on, and then he was replaced by Jordan after.
So much cricket going on these days, you know, Keshav. I'm sure when you go back to your home, I'm sure you're going to be looking at the test match between Sri Lanka and Australia. And you're back out tomorrow again, right here.
Yeah, well, I definitely, once there's cricket going on, and make sure to be a part of it, whether it's looking on, trying to assist with any aspect of the game through coaching, managing, even playing when I get the opportunity. But at this point in time, it's really, for me personally, one of the best times of the year when the cricket season has begun.
I have to agree with that as well.
You know, it's a really interesting mindset, because when when Christmas season was around, you know, everyone was so excited, and the usual cheer and joy that comes along with that auspicious time. And I was just patiently waiting for cricket season instead. And when January came around, I felt as if, well, that was when my Christmas started. When you were able to see cricket being played down here again, and just also with that recent Test match series with the West Indies. The gift that keeps on giving. A quick single here. Chance at the stumps, but safely home in the end.
Yeah, I have to say that this is the best time for me. But let's look at that chance again. It was quick single attempted. Bursing picked up and fired at the stumps, but I think Goolie would have been home safely. But there had to be a direct hit. The keeper was nowhere close to the stumps.
I think Mohammed knew he was safely home, because he dropped the bat and played with soft hands. So the ball really just went gently to the fielder, and he's already halfway down the pitch.
It's going to be very interesting to see who they bring forth next to replace Jordan from this end. Something tells me, though, that it would be Andre Bailey.
I would try Demel Evelyn for a short spell, if any. Of course, one of the two bowlers to get a wicket so far. So no harm in trying that option. And Jordan, you can see that he's a laboured figure. Seems to be looking a bit tired after that last over. 19 overs, of course, he's bowled in the day out of the 71. He's just you can see Jordan's comical frustration, just asking the batsman to give him something to work with, and they're not being disturbed at all.
Well, I don't think Mahabir Singh would have bowled to Mohammed since coming into this spell.
Appeal from wicketkeeper Richards. Mahabir Singh didn't seem too convinced. He did appeal as well, but
it just may be impacting Mohammed outside the line of the off stump.
yeah, both Richards and Jordan hands up in the appeal. Mahabir Singh, I think you saw, even though he raised his hands, he himself knew that it probably just struck Mohammed outside. But I like this challenge. As you said, Mohammed now facing him, and the first deliveries have been good.
Yeah, this is really good from Mahabir Singh. The start to this over. The last over was excellent as well to Goolie.
Again, that's the thing with any bowler. Once you get into that rhythm and that momentum, that's when you deliver your best work. And we did say before he was taken off in the previous spell, that's when he seemed to now be pitching the balls in the right areas of the field.
And Avinash Mahabir Singh, of course, was a part of that spin bowling camp that was held just a couple weeks ago out in Antigua
Keep going, Avi.
for a crop of the spin bowlers around the Caribbean, promising spin bowlers.
Yeah, the skipper for Red Force, Brian Charles, is also part of that, and I believe Navin Bidesi as well.
Yannick Carrier as well.
Come back.
Interesting to see what they will have to offer when they get the ball in hand. Quick single here, attempted from Goolie. And again, shy at the stumps, but not hitting cleanly. The batsman safely home. 72 gone, 238 for 2.
He was off quickly there, Goolie. And home in time. 2 wickets apiece for Jordan and Evelyn. And haven't bowled badly though, OJ Shields. But the bowling scorecard doesn't suggest how well he's bowled. But I think you are getting your wish. Finally, Keshav. This is going to be Abhijay Mansingh coming into the attack. Leg spinner.
Yes, indeed. I was calling for the leg spinner to get another opportunity with ball in hand since earlier. Just wonder if now might be the best time for him. But then again, no better time than now. And I think one of the main reasons for this bowling change, in fact, is maybe not due to strategy or tactics, but in fact, just overheard the umpires indicating that they are a bit behind their over rate and they need to get those 14 overs completed. So they're looking to turn those overs quickly. Abhijay Mansingh from Jamaica. His father, of course, Dean of the Faculty of Sport, Akshay Mansingh.
This one just punched away for 1. Mansingh just bowling 6 overs in his opening spell. Wonder if we're going to see Mahbir Singh and Mansingh operating simultaneously here now from both ends. It's a bit of purchase, a slight turn there from him. Nicely cut away by Mohammed for 1.
Well, I think if they have to maintain this over rate, we will see spin from both ends. Just 10 minutes to 9, the initial scheduled end of play. But still some 13 overs to go after these 3 deliveries. And driven nicely from Goolie, but good work from Mahabir Singh in the outfield.
It was around that very quickly. And what was good there from Mansingh, yes, it was a bit short, but it was quick through the air. So it sort of rushed Goolie. Didn't have time to place it where he wanted to. And that's good variation. That last delivery there, you can see Goolie reaching for it, which tells me that Mansingh slowed the pace down.
But that's the thing, you need to use that flight. The slower for a spinner most times is often better than not. And slight misfield there. Now then to complete that single safely. And also completes the 73rd over, 241 for 2.
You see that the keeper in the Mario Richards looking to get his team around quickly.
Well, he's already at his marker waiting.
Yeah.
And the other players just getting around a bit less quickly.
And we wait on the batsman, man. We wait on the batsman, man. We wait on the batsman, man. Come on, man.
And Richards echoing the sentiments that he wants his fielders to wait on the batsman.
We wait on the batsman. We wait on the batsman.
Make sure everyone is in place, so as soon as the batsman gets in and taps his bat, raises his head, they're ready to go.
Going Avi, keep going Avi.
We're
keep
just
going,
getting a
Avi, keep
drink
going,
of
Avi.
water. And
Keep going,
Goolie and
Avi, keep going,
Mohammed.
Avi, keep going, Avi.
Jed Goolie approaching his half
Come on, man,
century
come
as
on,
well.
man, come on, man.
46 of 87.
Cut away from Goolie.
Arrow stop.
There is a fielder out at deep cover. And some great work done on the boundary.
Nice stop.
Sadiq Henry getting around nicely.
Yeah, Jerry, that man.
Preventing a boundary and just 2 more to Goolie, but now inches up ever closer
Keep
to
working,
that
keep working,
half
keep working,
century.
Avi, keep
48
working, Avi.
at this point, 88 deliveries.
Keep working, Avi. Keep working,
It's
Avi.
been a really well placed
Come on,
innings
boys,
from
come on, boys,
Jed
come on,
Goolie.
boys.
Apart from that opportunity where he
Working,
was
Avi,
dropped by the
working, Avi.
keeper off of that delivery where he tried to pull to the leg side, but the ball just didn't get up enough. Top edge skied into the air. And this time he pulls, and he pulls well. And that goes all the way to the boundary for another 4 and brings up his half century. Jed Goolie brings up another important knock for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. And I'm sure he'll be looking to continue in this run scoring vein. 52 of 89 deliveries. Well played to Jed Goolie.
Yeah, congratulations to Jed Goolie on a 3rd first-class half-century.
Keep working,
And
Avi,
the
keep working,
Southpaw
Avi, keep
continues
working,
to be a
Avi.
dependable player for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Had a great season in 2024 and continues his good work here into 2025. A good start for him.
I'm really glad to see that he's taking it in stride. As you said, last year, a good season, and continuing that vein in 2025.
Yeah, he needs to start over here now, Jed Goolie. Yes, he gets to a half century, but he'll want to push on to something much bigger than this. That is a century and beyond.
Small boys, small boys. Rihanna. Keep going, Avi. Keep going, Avi. Keep going, Avi. Come on, Avi. Small boys, small boys, small boys. Keep working, Avi. Keep working, Avi.
Apart from that, 4 conceded off of Marbury Singh. As you said, the last over that he bowled was really good. And this over just straying a bit. But it could be those subtle differences as in the previous over when he bowled mainly to Jason Mohammed.
Yeah.
And then now switching back to the left-hander, Goolie. Some of those deliveries were better lined for a right-hander, but Goolie taking advantage as the left-hander.
Slight misfield there at short mid-wicket allows them to get through for a single. And that has brought the end to the 74th over. 249 for 2. Goolie reaching his half century in that over. He's on 53. And well, if Jason Mohammed does get through to his half century as well, that would mean all top 4 players for the Red Force getting a half century. Keshav, that's just what the doctor would have ordered.
Well, I think it's no better sight for any team and any camp where your top order can get to half centuries and to get a formidable score on the first day of play with no real risks or opportunities given, of course, apart from that chance of Goolie we mentioned. They've been very steady in their approach. Mansingh. Can he get a breakthrough here for the CCC? Mohammed times that really well. Is that going to run all the way to the boundary? And it does. In fact, I'm not sure if Kyle Corbin there might have just been pulling up in terms of he was running the ball all the way to the boundary. And right there, you see he stopped. So it could be that he was just trying to prevent some sort of injury if he continued into the ropes. But also that ball going downhill and down that slope, on that part of the ground.
Yeah,
He played.
very interesting there, the manner in which he almost stopped the chase. .250 comes up as well. 253 for 2.
Mohammed now goes up to 48.
And that last shot there from Mohammed that he guided, I would say, down to the boundary at third man. That just goes to show how well he plays. Took that very late. And that is the half century for Jason Shadow Mohammed. That's his 21st half century in first class cricket. And there you go, I'm the man. Jason Mohammed, congratulations to him. His 50 coming up from 90 deliveries. And an expertly executed drive there, overpitched from Mansingh and driven out to deep extra cover. And he called for an easy 2 in the end. And what a knock it has been. He continues his great form.
But really and truly, he's a sight to behold, Jason Mohammed, in terms of his consistency. And also the human service that he has provided to the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force over the years. Someone of his caliber and his competency. Always an excellent role model and figure to have in that Red Force lineup. And as you see, after 75 overs, 255 for 2. Reaching to that fabled mark there, Visham, of the top 4, each getting to a half century. The first 2 not pushing forward to that century mark. These 2, I'm sure, will have other plans in mind.
Yeah, definitely. And Goolie calls out for the floppy hat. And with 2 spinners operating, he's decided to get himself a bit more comfortable. Oh, a shout there from the keeper Richards and bowler Mahabir Singh. Not out, says umpire Bassarat.
It's a really good looking delivery from Mahabir Singh. And as the floppy hat comes out, I see some new interesting twist of play.
Ooh, just one bounce there to the bowler. Could have easily been played back to the bowler, but Goolie is playing with a bit of soft hands there in the end. Ball just maybe stopping on the surface a bit, Keisha.
And on that occasion, some extra turns. So the 3 deliveries from Mahabir Singh thus far to Goolie have each produced a moment of interest.
And a different challenge as well.
Correct. And each of them unique in their own way. That's what he needs to do. Keep that pressure on. Not relinquish that single.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on, boys.
Just ever present in the ears of Goolie, behind the stumps.
It's a good over. Been bowled here by Mahabir Singh.
Working, boys. Wanna move, boys. Wanna move, boys. Bowling Avi.
a bit quicker to end the 76th. At the end of it, 255 for the loss of 2. Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Remember, he would have been invited to take first strike by Joan Jeremiah after he would have won the toss for CCC and elected to bowl first. And since then, well, there's been an uphill task for the men in blue and white, the combined campuses and colleges unit.
I remember this morning, even prior to the toss, everyone was expecting that whoever won would have taken a bat first. And given the nature of the surface here at the Parallel Cricket Academy, and what Skipper Jeremiah indicated is that the moisture on the pitch early up, of course, with the covers being in place a bit longer than usual, a bit of rain around and moisture, he decided to have a bowl first and see if he can get some early inroads into the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force lineup. Unfortunately, it did not result in that manner, and it's been a tough day in the field.
Quick single attempted and through easily in the end. The running has been good between Goolie and Mohammed as well. Very difficult to pinpoint errors in judgment, errors in playing today for the Red Force. I think we can count on one hand the false strokes and the errors that we would have seen. Easily done there by Goolie.
Yeah, well, at this point, with just under 10 overs left in the day's play, both batsmen just need to continue in that same manner. Rotate the strike, put away the bad balls, but their main goal right now is bat till the end of the day. Finish not out, come back tomorrow, start fresh, and continue. And as you say that, you see Jason Mohammed retaking his guard. That's one of those simple things that batsmen do to mentally reset themselves at the crease. Full on that occasion from Mansingh, and a nice diving attempt.
Mel Evelyn, the man doing the work. 100 partnership comes up between Goolie and Mohammed as well. That's another milestone for them. It's a bit over pitch there from Mansingh. The big man, Mel Evelyn, getting down very low and getting an important hand on that.
Short and cut away from Mohammed, but there is protection out there, a deep cover. And good running allows them to come back for 2. Again, as we mentioned before, but most important to note now, that intensity from the batsman at the crease. No matter it's coming down to the end of the day's play, and they could have easily settled for a single, they still push for 2, and that's what you want to see across the board from not only Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, but all of the teams in this regional 4-day lineup have to get themselves up to that international standard of play where we see all of these other teams doing it consistently.
Using his feet this time and goes over mid-on, and that looks to be 4. Yes, it is. So over pitching again there, Mansingh, and using his feet there was Mohammed, and that went into the boundary for 4 long on. Riyad Emirates giving chase. Well,
it's reliving some of those days. Of course, Riyad Emirates still fit as a fiddle. I'm sure he can walk onto that field just as if it was in his prime. Always good to have players of his ilk, both he and Lendl Simmons, around the Red Force setup. Of course, both of them would have played alongside Jason Mohammed for quite a number of years.
We'll look at that again. Shout there for leg before, and Mohammed was looking to use his feet again. Could have very well be going over the stumps or maybe missing the leg stump, as the case may be, looked to have been a Goolie from Mansing, so he has that in his armory as well.
Boys, come on, boys, come on, boys. Going, Avi, keep going, Avi, keep going, Avi.
Nicely pulled there by Ma Bursing, but turned away by Goolie, and they'll get two.
Keep working, boy, keep working, keep going, Avi, keep going, Avi. Keep working, Avi, keep working, Avi, keep working, Avi. Keep working, Avi, keep working, Avi, keep working, Avi.
And Ma Bursing continues, and by all means, the spinners continuing, Keshav, because of the fact that they have to get through the overs quickly.
Keep going, Avi, keep going, Avi, keep going, Avi.
Come tomorrow, it's going to be a different story. It's around 12:30.
Keep working, Avi, keep working, Avi, keep
Yeah.
working, Avi. Keep going, buddy boy, keep going, buddy boy, keep going, buddy boy.
And Jason Mohammed can't get a run.
Keep going, boys, keep going, boys.
Turns it straight into the
Keep going, boys, keep going, boys.
backward square leg fielder's hands.
Come on, boys, come on, boys, come on, boys. Keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working.
Oh, well flighted this time. It's getting some purchase, Ma Bursing.
Well, one thing I've noticed from Mohammed is that whenever he steps forward with that defensive shot, he's ensuring that his pad is outside the line of the off stump as much as possible. So if he is struck, that would be the first thing the umpire notices.
He's bowling well. His last couple of overs hasn't been bad at all, Ma Bursing.
Yeah, again, just getting into that momentum, adrenaline pumping.
At the end of 78 overs, it is 268 for the loss of 2.
You can look at the figures, of course. The only two bowlers to get something in that wicket column. Hakeem Jordan, 19 overs, 1 for 42. And Mel Eveling, also 4 overs, 1 for 17. Driven nicely from Goolie, and a misfield the mid-off position. They go for one, and they look to come back for the second, and they get there easily in the end. So just continuing to show that match awareness, situational analysis from Goolie, realizing that from the first misfield, the single was easily on, and the fielder just casually going to retrieve the ball, a tired OJ Shields, and he came back for second. And again, Goolie showing his maturity on display. Those deliveries, persons who know Jed Goolie certainly know his ability to clear the boundary rows with some ease. But he knows that now is not the time to play those sort of strokes. Just has to bat smartly to the end of play. And they're still getting the runs easily as well. So even without picking up boundaries per over, still scoring on or around that 3 to 4 runs an over mark. So Mohammed just getting some assistance with his footwear. At this point they're getting singles even within the 30-yard circle and just continuing to put that pressure on the batsman.
It's going to put pressure on a fielding team when they're seeing that the ball is being struck within that 30-yard circle and you're seeing runs being taken. Three fielders out on the boundary on the leg side.
And it's played brilliantly by Jed Goolie. A straight drive. The second time today that we have seen him play a shot with such elegance and class. Look at that. Full free flow of the bat. And all along the green top at the Brown Lar Cricket Academy. Again, the best place to hit the ball straight behind the bowler. Guaranteed to get runs. And Akeem Jordan at a very straight long on. Could not get it wrong in time. Such was the expert timing of the ball from Goolie and placement.
Looking for it again there, Goolie. This time a bit more to the onside. Well, actually on the onside this time.
Some of the groundsmen just gathering close to the covers. Just wondering if your good old friend the rain might come to visit us soon again, or whether they are just preparing for the end of play. 7 overs left.
Well, if both of us are saying, Keshav, that this is our favorite time of the year, I don't think either of us would be friends with the rain.
I thought you were a good ally because as you arrived earlier this morning, so did the rain showers.
Oh my. Yeah, what you were saying.
But that, I'm sure that was a blessing for the ground.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly. Marbury Singh is back.
Look at that from Jason Mohammed. Not a fielder moved. You could have heard a pin drop. Extra flight from Mahabir Singh into the arc of Mohammed. Just stepping forward. And the only person who moved, in fact, was the fielder who left to retrieve it. He knew he had no chance of getting there, but told himself, well, let me just get going one time.
Yeah, you reached way after the ball did. And both batsmen on 64 at the moment. Mohammed facing 102 deliveries, Goolie 104. And this is what we speak about. Oh, a quick single attempted now, given the fact that Evelyn would have misfielded that one at a short mid-wicket. Yeah, but it's good to see our top order, the Trinidad and Tobago Red Forces top order, that is, you know, batting for long periods and scoring runs. Something we have not seen, though, is that these players carrying on to the other landmarks. So let's see if they can get there. We know in the West Indies that has been a cause for concern. The top order and various teams, and also at the international level, not bearing fruit, Keshav, and not setting that foundation. And we tend to see the lower order and the middle order having to pick up the slack.
Most recent example of that in that Pakistan series, where the lower order on not just one but two occasions led the run scoring.
Led by Kudakesh Moti.
Also Jamel Warrican.
Kevin Sinclair had some good performances with the bat as well, as 80 overs have been completed And it's 281 for 2.
Now, one of the things that I noticed during that Pakistan series, as I would encourage all spinners as well to do, is that someone such as Warrican, you saw when he bowled, he used a lot of variations in speed.
Yeah.
Because that pitch, I mean, I think anyone can turn a ball on that pitch, because traditionally we are not accustomed to seeing Warrican get that much purchase. But what he did is that he read the situation, and I think he adjusted quite brilliantly in terms of realizing how the ball was moving, pulled back his length, and slowed the speed.
Yeah, what was impressive as well, though, is that the Pakistani players and batsmen were playing for spin. And what was smart from the West Indies, knowing that the Pakistan players would expect a lot of spin, they were getting most of the players with arm balls, the balls that were keep going on with the arm. That was spectacular, I thought.
Short and cut away from Mohammed, straight to the fielder. And as we looked at that series, you saw that arm ball becoming so much more effective, and sometimes it wasn't even the traditional arm ball, which is pushed through a bit flatter and quicker, but it was in fact a drifter.
Yeah.
And just allowing that ball to come naturally with the angle into the batter, but also using the drift and the natural wind factor to just carry it. Really was some intelligent bowling on display. I must say I admire the fight back as well from that first test, which was, some person said embarrassing, but again, just looking at the surface, I don't think any batsman would have been prepared for that. No matter how much work you do in the nets, you do work in spin, bowling camps, and you can practice as much as you like, but that sort of surface is really sometimes unplayable.
It's really tailor-made for spin bowling, and I'll be interested to see what the ICC's rating on that surface would be, Keshav. That'll be quite interesting.
And speaking of that ICC rating, we know that last year for the T20 World Cup, which was hosted jointly between the West Indies and USA, there were some games featured here at the Royal Cricket Academy, and the surfaces that you see, of course, this one in direct view of your screen, as well as the entire square, and also the one that's prepared just to the right of your screen, they would have been new surfaces that would have been relayed prior to the start of that World Cup. And just approaching the start of the World Cup, they did not get much time to have match practice on it. As 81 overs are completed, 283 for 2. And from just speaking to a couple of the groundsmen, because I noticed that during the World Cup, of course, we know that the ICC indicated these pitches may not have been up to their standard and unsatisfactory. Also, some of the players complaining the fact that the bounce was up and down or variable and not able to play through the line of the ball. But since then, after there were a couple of matches played on the new surfaces, and the surface got a bit more match ready in terms of just that usual feel of the ball continuously going on it, you can see how this has turned out to be a batting paradise, Visham. From that World Cup to now, most of the teams that have played here, they have really enjoyed the ability to score runs as freely.
Yeah, I agree. And it was very unfortunate what happened here at the Royal Cricket Academy for the T20 World Cup, but it's good to see quick single taken. It's good to see that the pitches would have bettered, and the batters are enjoying the pitches presented, as well as the bowlers. Not this time around just yet though for the CCC, but something very interesting coming out of Pakistan though in terms of those spinning pitches. I mentioned after this ball from Mahabir Singh. I was looking at actually reading a quote from Shan Masood, skipper of Pakistan, and he was saying that more pitches like that should be prepared. At this time, Mohammed goes downtown, and that goes all the way for 6.
Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on, boys.
Well, actually, the decision has been changed now. He's saying that the umpire is saying that it went for 4. Let's have a look. Well, yeah, 1 bounce over the boundary for 4. Correct decision made in the end. Yeah, he's saying that more pitches like that should be prepared in the Qaidi Azam Trophy. That is the longer version of the game in local cricket there in Pakistan, so that batsmen would be more familiar with those type of pitches. I don't know what's your thoughts on that.
My thoughts on that would be essentially, I don't think those sort of pitches should be anywhere if you want to see competitive cricket being played. I mean, being a spinner myself, I do have some bias for spin, yes. But I think just if you want to see an all-round competitive game of cricket and with some fairness and balance to both sides, you need to have a surface that can augur well for both batsmen and bowlers, not a surface that is completely one-sided. I mean, as 82 overs completed 288 for 2, we saw a quote from the skipper Craig Brathwaite, where he said that along the lines of, we knew that we were going to get out.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a matter of if you're going to get out, it's just a matter of when. So they changed their approach from the first test to the second, where they decided to score more frequently and play more attacking shots in their usual nature, and just get a target that they will back themselves to bowl and defend. And you saw that. I think that half century from Craig Brathwaite might have been the quickest that I've seen in the last decade from him.
Yeah. So true, so true. Craig Brathwaite doesn't normally score that freely.
And also the type of shots he played, I think from the first or second over, you saw Craig Brathwaite playing sweep shots, reverse, and it's refreshing, because usually you never encourage that from your opening pair, especially so early on in the innings, but the circumstances required it, and he adapted.
Shaqiri Paris for the first time, and starts well. But what Shan Masood is saying there now to everyone that's coming to Pakistan is to prepare
yourself
for spin. When you're coming to Pakistan, expect spin. That's what he is saying.
I think you could say similarly for Sri Lanka in goal, where the left-hand spinner has put his own name up in the stadium and in all of the inductory awards there, but Australia fighting. And what do you think in terms of our services in the Caribbean? Would you like to see that kind of spin down here?
I think, no, not really. Not really at all.
Well, the fact that you were thinking first, you had me wondering whether, there was a part of you that wanted to see the ball turning squarely from ball 1 today.
No, not at all. I would like to see maybe a bit more spin, but not that much.
Cut away from Goolie, but good work again from Mahabir Singh, is it? Yes, indeed. Throughout the entirety of today, has been diving left, right, all parts of the ground and stopping the ball as best as he could. Paris hasn't done bad at all in his first over.
He hasn't. He has started well. Hasn't yet conceded a run. 3 overs coming up after this. You never know if Paris can strike. But here's a strike from Jid Goolie, though. He finds the gap beautifully behind square. And he earns himself yet another boundary. He's into the 70s now. 292 for 2. After 83. 70 to Goolie. 70 to Mohammed.
It really is amazing how both Goolie and Mohammed have been going neck and neck. I tell you, almost the same amount of deliveries, just one difference in between there, or just one difference in terms of the score ever so often. And they're just batting in this excellent partnership where you always hear coaches encourage batsmen to bat in pairs.
Yeah.
Understand your partner and his approach to the game and play to your strengths, yes, but also be cognizant of the effect of your partner on the other end. And what I like about this pair especially is that they both have played similar.
Yeah, they have, and it's good to see them just on about the the same score, 70 apiece. Bursting is here.
Bowling Avi, bowling Avi, bowling Avi, bowling Avi. Come on, boys, come on, boys, come on, boys. Bowling Avi nasty, bowling Avi nasty, bowling Avi nasty. Come on, boys, come on, boys. Working Avi, keep working Avi, keep working Avi. Bowling Avi nasty, bowling Avi nasty.
This is good. This is good from Bursting.
Keep going, Avi. I'm sorry.
And Mohammed and Goolie, they won't want to give away their hand this late in the day with 2 overs to follow after this one.
Keep going, Avi, keep going, Avi, keep going, Avi. Keep working, Avi, keep working, Avi. Come on, boys, come on, boys, come on, boys.
Bursting opting to go round the wicket now.
Bowling happiness, bowling happiness. Bowling happiness. Go on, buddy, keep going, buddy, keep going, buddy, keep going, buddy.
Oh, some challenge there for Mohammed. Long stride forward, just turning into him with the ball angling away. I'm sure Goolie would be telling him, despite Mohammed being the senior campaigner, Goolie would be telling him, just bat through to the end of the day. Let's get through to the end of the day and come back tomorrow. Well, everyone has to come back tomorrow, but let's come back tomorrow and be at the crease at 12:30, waiting on some more bowling to feast on. Who knows? Or the bowling can get the better of us. You never know. Well, 84 overs bowled in the day. 292 for 2. 1 for 42 to Hakeem Jordan and 1 for 17 to Damel Evelyn, who we haven't seen since that spell of 4 overs. And he was able to pick up the wicket of Cephas Cooper for 80 of 140 deliveries. Cooper was gone chasing a wide delivery from Evelyn off his very first ball. Short from Paris, and Bursting gets in the way. Can't stop the single though, and just through for 1. And Paris is gonna stay round the wicket. He's gonna be bowling round the wicket to the right-handed Jason Mohammed. If they can prize out a wicket here in this last over and 5 deliveries, well. That could make things interesting heading into tomorrow. A dead ball signalled by the umpire Christopher T. Too short and cracked away by Goolie. That's going to be 4 more. Lovely shot there from Goolie. And have a look at that again. Too short, too wide, and punched nicely. And that's 4. 298 for the loss of 2. 75 to Goolie, 71 to Mohammed. Good comeback there from Paris to end. Well, actually 3 more deliveries remaining. 2 more now. And that takes the tally up to 299. This is the final Paris over. Getting past 300 would be a mammoth feat for the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force today. Turned away, looking for one. It's not on. What a treat this has been for the few persons who would have turned up to look on at this match. And of course to those joining us live on Windies Cricket on YouTube. It's Paris. Oh, short, pulled away, that's 4. Lovely shot, latched on nicely to that one, Jason Mohammed. That takes him to 75 to end the 85th over. And that brings the tally up to 303 now. Too short, a poor delivery from Paris that has been treated with disdain. 303 for the loss of 2 after 85 overs. That takes us to the end of today's play. And remember, it's match day number 1 of the Cricket West Indies for Regional 4-Day Championship 2025. And if you're just joining us, well, it's not a bad time to be joining us though, because you're going to get a match summary. But it's a bad time if you miss the treat that was put on by the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force team today. And yes, earlier today, Joanne Jeremiah, the skipper of CCC, that is the Combined Campuses and Colleges, he would have called it right at the toss, and he would have asked the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force team, the home team, to take first strike here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. And that they did. They took the first strike, and they would have amassed 303 for 2 after 85 overs. 80 of 140 to Cephas Cooper, 75 to Jason Mohammed, 76 to Jid Goolie. Both men would return tomorrow, and they would be at the crease at around 12:30 in the afternoon. And Vikash Mohan as well had a half century, 2 wickets apiece, well, 1 wicket apiece rather, 1 for Akeem Jordan, 1 for Demel Evelyn. Demel Evelyn being the man to make the key breakthrough for the men in blue and white, the Combined Campuses and Colleges. But that's all she wrote today for the Cricket West Indies Championship on match day 1. And again, we just want to thank everyone for viewing, and hope you have a wonderful Wednesday night. And do join us tomorrow afternoon for continued coverage of this contest right here, live from the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. I'm Visham Lalman on behalf of Jason Passad, Kadir Mohammed, Keshav Bahadur Singh and Rusking Mark. I just want to say, have a great night, everyone.